this is what I do with my oils. Strain them through a paint strainer, and then I use them in my chainsaw's bar oil after I get done. And some people say you need to use chainsaw bar oil because it's more tacky. Well, that's probably so if you use a chainsaw a whole lot, but I don't use a chainsaw that much at a time, and I've never wore a bar or a chain out. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Papaw's place. Guys, today we are about to attempt changing the hydro fluid in this Spartan SRT XD zero turn. So the first thing I'm going to do, I done rode it around and got it to operating temperature. Well, I'm finna back it up on my ramps here. And I got to get me something to lay on because my redneck canopy shop right here, we got a rain last night and the floor got a little wet. But we finna back it up on there, and then I get under there and we're gonna drain the fluid out, put the new filters in, and put in some of that expensive oil they recommend. So let's get started. Now, of course, this would be a lot easier to do if you had one of them lifts to put it up on, so you wouldn't have to lay down and get under here. But the average homeowner, or anyone who owns a zero turn, the average person don't own that, do we? So I got it backed up on the ramps. That gives me a little more working room. I'm gonna get my stuff laid out, then I'll get y'all under there and show y'all what we're doing first. So the manual that come with this SRT XD here don't show nothing about how to change the hydraulic fluid. I look on YouTube and I can't find nothing. In the manual it says they recommend you take it to the dealer. But I've done other lawnmowers that they said recommend taking it to the dealer. So as I'm doing this, if you someone who sees that I'm doing something wrong, or I did something or didn't do something, by all means, please put it in the comments so the viewers can see it, and I'll tag your comment up so it'll be the first comment in case there's something I did or didn't do. This will be the first time to change this in this. I know it's recommends earlier, but I done it. It's 250 something hours on here. And then after that, they say 1,000 hours with their high dollar HT1000 oil. But then in the fine print it says if you mow it in heavy dust and all that, you need to do it more often than that. Wow, if you mow in a yard, you're gonna be mowing in dust, ain't you? Yeah. So that's just I don't know, that's overpriced oil, all I can tell you. It can't be that good. So now the first thing I'm gonna do is remove the cap off the reservoir tank, which is right here under your seat. In case you didn't know, that's where you check your levels for your hydro fluid. Now I'm gonna put the camera down. I'm gonna get this cleaned up real good before I take my top off, because you do not want any kind of dirt, dust, or anything getting in your hydro fluid. That is the #1 thing that can ruin your hydro system on any mower. Alright guys, so up under the lawnmower, right here is where your internal filter is. I'm going to be removing that. And right up under the bottom is a drain plug. And I'll be removing it. I'm going to try to get the camera set up somewhere where y'all can see, but I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this. And it would be better, what I may have to do is once I remove them, is take my jack the front of the lawnmower up to make it level, so all the oil will drain out better, because it's not sitting level backed up on these ramps. Alright guys, so the plug right here on where the filter is, the internal filter, is a 24 millimeter. lefty-loosey. And the drain plug on the bottom is a 17 millimeter. I probably should have took it out first, but we're gonna get it done. Don't lose your washer when you pull this drain plug out, because you will need a washer if you lose it. I'm gonna set that right there to the side. I'm gonna go on and remove the filter cap right here. When you slide that out, slide it out easy to make sure it ain't no spring or nothing behind it. Alright guys, the right side is finished draining. I'm going to take the new filter here. Give me a little bit of this oil that drained out, and I'm going to put right around that O-ring. Now you got to remember, this here is plastic. So unless you're a torque wrench style person, but most backyard mechanics like myself ain't, unless it's on heads on a motor or something. You got to remember, this is plastic. You just want to run it up there and just give it just a little bitty snug, or you'll bust it. And when you see the price of them, you sure don't want to buy no more. Now I'm going to put my new drain plug with the new washer in there. Again, that's a 17 millimeter and a 24 millimeter. Just give it a good little snug there. Don't overdo it, you'll strip it. It ain't gonna come out on you, I promise. Alright, now guys, I'm gonna do the same thing on the left side, and then we'll be ready to fill it back up oil. Okay guys, so next is gonna be the hardest part. That's removing the fill plugs on the top. I may remove mine just for an air vent and try to fill through the reservoir and see how that works. But I'm going to get the camera and show y'all where the fill plugs are. One of them's right under the dadgum bolt on the belt on the other side. So let me show y'all where the fill plugs are. Now this one right here you can see and get to behind the fan blade right there. That's an Allen wrench, and if I ain't mistaken, it's a 10, maybe a 9, I don't know. This one over here, the belt comes, well, you can push the belt over. I'll be able to get it by pushing the belt over, but I know y'all can't see it because it's right under the belt right there. So I got to get them removed, but I'm thinking I can remove them and then fill through the reservoir. It's got one reservoir that's piped to both of them, because that's how you check it. There's your low mark right there when it's full. So you ought to be able to fill it up. It's setting level the way it is. And I don't know if both sides holds a gallon apiece, because it's 2 gallons in that kit. I'll get back to y'all on that, but I got to get down in here and get them fill plugs removed. That's the hardest part. I can't see where it would be easier reaching up above it, laying on the ground, and trying to get squeezed in here between this seat raised up and get it off. So here I go. Here I go. And there's what your little plug looks like. Now I got to get it off the Allen wrench. There we go. Oh man, I dropped my Allen wrench in my old bucket. Yeah, that'd make you want to say a curse word there. Now I'm all hung up trying to get out. Now guys, I may be wrong about this, and some of you real mechanics out there can correct me if I am. But this here's the reservoir, and it ain't got but one. It serves both sides, so anytime you gotta, that's where you check your fluid and that's where you top it off. Because the first Spartan I had, when I got it, had a leak in the seal, so I had to keep it topped off. And that's why I eventually just traded it back in. So, I don't see why I can't fill right here. Now, I know it's going to be slower. I don't know if it's not. It'd take a little bitty funnel, a long funnel, to get down there to that hole. And it says in the manual, don't overfill. Well, the only way you can overfill it is after it stops draining down in here. Here's your full mark right there. And actually, I don't see how it gets full up to this mark. This reservoir is higher than that fill plug. Look like oil's gonna start coming out the top of that fill plug down there before it would hold up here to this mark up here. So I'm going to just start pouring and see what happens. If it starts coming out down here on this one first, I'll put the plug back in it and keep pouring until it comes out on that other one over there. And then I'll keep pouring it till it gets to the mark. I don't see why it won't work that way. Like I said, it may take me longer doing it this way. I may have to go hunt up a long funnel. All right. So I guess gotta wait. This is gonna take a little time, but it's draining down, but it's slow. But if I didn't pull them fill plugs out, it wouldn't vent down, it wouldn't drain down in there. So while it's doing that, I am gonna go see if I can find me a long funnel. Maybe I can pour some in there at the same time. So if I don't, that's gonna take a while to drain down like that. I knew it was gonna be slow, but I didn't think it'd be that slow. Alright guys, so that took about 5 minutes to drain down. But I got this yellow funnel and I couldn't get it down there to work. So now I got a little funnel down in there and I'm gonna try to stick this one. I don't know how this is gonna work. Maybe that'll work. We're gonna try this. What I'm gonna do is fill the reservoir back up so it'll be draining. Uh-oh, got some oil on my hand. So it'll be draining down again. So y'all can see the hardest part's getting the thing full of oil. And that ain't gonna drain much faster than that reservoir having to go through that little bitty funnel to get in that hole. Yeah, it's draining a little faster. The best thing would be probably, guys, if you have a pump where you can put a pump on here, stick the hose down in there and pump the oil in there. That's what a man needs. That's what a man needs for this task. But I'm gonna get it done like this and then I'll get back with y'all when we get ready to purge this thing. Alright, now guys, to purge the system, I'm just going to use this V-Bar air jack. This is one of the handiest jacks I ever owned. We're going to raise the back end to where both tires is off the ground. Alright, both tires is off the ground right there. Now we got to get under there and flip them levers that's up under the bottom. All hydrostatic mowers have some kind of lever on them. You are never supposed to pull one of these lawn mowers before you flip these levers, in case you have to hook something to it and pull it out stuck or pull it somewhere. But I'm going to raise the seat up and show y'all where they are. Now on the front of each wheel motor, gotta get down here where I can reach it, is this black lever. And you just flip it all the way the opposite direction on both motors. Now after you flip them levers and your back tires is off the ground, crank it up, and we just gonna work the levers forward all the way, backwards all the way. Now I like doing it about at least 10 times, but don't go fast, go slow. That's purging the air out of the system. I know I done mine more than 10 times, but normally when I do it like that, then I don't have to go back and do it again. So now we're gonna flip the levers back. I'm gonna reach under there this way because it's easier. Let our jack down. Guys, these V-bore jacks, I'll leave a link in the description below. These are the handiest jacks to have. So handy. And a little bitty air compressor makes them work. It don't matter if it's one of them little pancakes, it'll work. Now before I go test drive it, I'm gonna raise the seat up. The reservoir still looks good. Actually, it's just a little bit over full, but it's still like 3/4 of the canister. It ain't gonna hurt nothing, it ain't gonna blow out. But you don't wanna have that canister plumb full. If you do, take a syringe or something and suck some of it out. So now we're gonna crank it up and go test her out. So guys, that right there is how you change the hydro fluid in the Spartan SRT XD. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to the fluid change kits below this video where y'all can go check it out. If you ain't checked them out yet, don't have a heart attack when you see the price of them. And if you're around Oak Grove, Louisiana, and you're interested in a Spartan mower, it's right now, we up into November here. I know they got some sales going on. And run up there to Oak Grove Tire Stop and walk in there and tell Mr. Morris Papaw sent you here. You want to check out the prices on his Spartan mowers. And I think they got some sales going on since it's at the end of the year like this. Now this is my second Spartan SRT XD. The first one didn't have but like 550 hours on it when I traded it in. But it had to have a warranty work done because that seal on one of them Parker transmissions was leaking, and it was leaking from the day I got it. Just not even enough to drip, but just enough to mist, and you would have to top it back off about every week and a half. Well, it had that computer control start on it too, and I didn't like that. So at the end of mowing season that year, I went up there and he had this one with the key start. I said, instead of me just having to wait on my warranty work to get done, how about I just trade this one in now, because he can sell good used lawnmowers like that with low hours on them. So I got this one. Also right now I got a Bad Boy Road, and one of these days I'm going to do a video. Both of these mowers sitting side by side and talk about my likes and dislikes one over the other one. But guys, I hope this helps some of you out. I know I looked up on YouTube myself and I couldn't find any that owned the SRT XD. I think this is the 16cc Parker transmission. If it ain't, I'll correct it in the screen here when I go to edit this video. But I think this is the 16cc. Now I know on the, it's different changing them in the RZs and stuff, because they got a smaller cc Parker transmission, and the filters is different than these. But yeah, good lawnmowers. But guys, again, I hope that helps you out. If you ain't never subscribed to my channel, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you a thing, because you never know what you may see here at Papaw's place. I'm a little bit about everything. And I hope y'all have a great day and a blessed week. God bless. See y'all next time.